Welcome back, everyone. I'm Zell, and today we're getting a look at the Rike knife, Hummingbird. Alright guys, inside this box is probably the coolest knife, and I just can't do it. It is a tiny little knife. Oh my lord, guys. This thing, well, let's look at what you get with it. You get the Hummingbird. You get a bathtub style chain, and you get a little neck sheath if you chose to wear it in a neck sheath. Little knife pops right in there. So now that we've got that out of the way, nice packaging, by the way. Very nice packaging from Rike knife. Let's get a look at the size of the knife. Here is a Delica. Everybody has a pretty good idea what size a Delica is. There's the Hummingbird. We'll zoom in there. It is tiny. And let's qualify all this tininess. Let's get our calipers out here. We've got a closed overall length, if I can get everything marked there, 2.276 or 57.8 millimeters. We have a thickness on the frame of the knife at 8.42 millimeters, which is 0.331 inches, and it doesn't get much thicker as we go up here. We're at 0.395 at the pocket clip. And let's get a weight because, you know, hey, might be interesting. As far as grams go, we have 16.7 grams, 0.59 ounces, 0.59, and 83.5 carats. Wow. So let's get a close look at this little guy. The cool thing here is the milling and the detail. This knife is built just like any of its big brothers. And I really mean that. We have a ceramic detent. We have a lock bar insert. We have ball bearings. We have everything that you would find in a standard full-size titanium knife. And it works. There you go. And there's that little blade. This little blade is, if I can keep hold of this little guy, this little blade is about 1.6 inches long, and it's got a blade stock. We'll see if we can get this way back here. 0.087 or 2.22 millimeters. So everything is small here. But look at this. They have designed it in such a way that you can actually flip the knife open. Everything works good. It is centered up perfectly. And the milling. I mean, look at the flourishes. Look at the holes there for that hummingbird wing. Look at all of the detail on this side. We got flourish again, different facets here. I even got a little swoosh up the pocket clip. Another little cut in the pocket clip there, and it is just, you know, a miniature milling marvel. And that lock bar insert, it is a lock bar insert. It is an over travel stop, so has a ceramic detent in it, ceramic bearings, everything you would expect in a full-size knife, except it's tiny. We have a Damas steel blade, very nice pattern there, and it's even sharp. We can cut things with it. Is it super sharp? Well, no, it could use a bit of sharpening, but it's plenty sharp enough to cut stuff that this little knife this size would cut. The only place I could find to fault this guy is the size of that hole right there. And why anybody would want to put a $150 knife on a key ring, I don't know, but somebody's going to want to do it, and that hole is just too small to achieve that. So that's the only thing I can fault this knife for. Other than that, it is excellent execution of the tiny knife. You know, we've looked at some from a lot of different companies, and usually in the small knife, you get left off to the side. It's got crappy blade steel, or they don't care about centering or materials or something. There are a few exceptions. Best Tech's doing a really good job with their small knives, and there are a handful of others out there that are doing a great job. But most of the time, even from the major companies, the small knife is left off to the side. Now, this is an extreme of the small knife. In fact, we looked at a Best Tech the other day that I also said was a very good execution of the small knife for almost all the same reasons that this Hummingbird is. But this is the, I believe it was a 1705. Okay. It looks like a huge knife compared to the Hummingbird. And here we have the Best Tech Zen, which is another well-built small knife. It also looks like a full-size knife when you lay them down next to each other. So, I don't want to belabor this way too long. I just wanted you guys to be able to get a look at this guy because it's one of those feat of engineering knives, because whenever things get small, the tolerances have to be tighter. You have to do a better job with your milling. You have to do a better job with your fit and finish, or things just don't work. As we see in the regular knife world, where many of these small knives, like we said a moment ago, are crappy steel or crappy fit and finish, and Rike is doing it right. Now, at the price they should be, because MSRP and regular price on this guy is about 150 bucks. If they have another round at mass drop, it ends up right around 80 some dollars with shipping, which is still a ridiculously high price for such a small knife. But Rike is doing it right. If you're looking for a small knife that is done extremely well, and hey, we'll look at the ergos real quick. They give you this little hook right here, and you can actually get the knife in your hand and accomplish something with it. So, some thinking went into this guy, and they did an excellent job of shrinking the titanium frame lock and putting some beautiful Damas steel in there with it. My finger's out of the way so you guys can see this guy. And, you know, it's called a Hummingbird, and look at that little wing pattern. It is just a well thought out, well executed small knife that is definitely in the premium category with its pricing. But hey, they did it right. So, there you go, guys. That is the Rike knife Hummingbird. And it is a super cool little knife. I don't know how useful it is being as small as it is, but neat little knife. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a few minutes and getting a look at it. And you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.